Hello, everybody. Let me go here. Welcome back to another great episode of Behind the Layers. I'm your host, Cara Christensen, and I am excited to have you guys here today. The topic we are going to be discussing is going to be mental health and how that plays a role on your physical health. So, welcome so much. I'm so excited. It is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and it will be the end of the week again. And yet, we have gone through another week. How blessed are we that we get to experience another week? For those of you that are just joining me, welcome. This is Behind the Layers, where we uncover the truth, the myth, the good, the bad, and the other ugly of the health, beauty, and fitness industries. And I am so very excited to have you guys join me. Today's topic about mental health and how it can affect your physical health is a big topic. There's a lot more mental health issues in our world than I feel like have been in the past. And I feel like a lot of it is driven by the society that we have around us and the economy that we have. And even if you aren't something you weren't born with, just a chemical imbalance, this is something that you can attain from your elements that surround you. So it's an important topic and it's a touchy topic. It's a sensitive topic, but one that I feel like should be discussed because it does play a role on your physical health too. You ever hear like, so and so's husband or wife, they've been together for 40 years or something like that. And, at that point, you're pretty much like an extension of one another. And then one gets sick and then the other one gets sick, or one dies and the other one passes soon after. It's almost like, they become an extension of who you are and a part of who you are. You're so intertwined and connected by your emotional status. So if you are going through hardships, the other person can feel it too physically. So it's the same as your surroundings, right? Like if your surroundings are damning or damaging, it's going to affect you physically as well. You can literally give yourself ulcers and cancer. I mean, the greatest things of all, you can break down your immune system so big. And we're going to talk about how that is and why that is. So if you guys like the podcast and you are getting some good knowledge from it, please do like, subscribe, and share. Sharing is caring. If you have people that are looking for a little bit of guidance and they just don't know where to turn to, or they need someone to kind of give them a step-by-step handbook on how to get back to a better life, a healthier life from the inside out, all naturally, then please do share my channel at Cara Chris TV. I'm here to help step by step, like I do with my clients, to help get you in that space to be able to living your best life from the inside out. Again, no matter where you are, no matter what space you're in currently, I can help you get on the right track. So I'm constantly posting up things you can do, methods and techniques, new recipes and workouts, and short and simple, easy things that anybody can do at any level. So make sure you do check that out. I do want to talk about my sponsor, which I'm very proud of. Finally getting my first sponsor. I don't know if you guys have tried this before, but it is Metamucil. A lot of us don't have enough fiber in our diets. So this Metamucil is a psyllium husk fiber that will help you move all of that waste and rubbish and the toxins in your body out of your body. I've used this with my kids when they were toddlers, and sometimes now with my kids if they get a little stopped up. This is an orange flavor, so it kind of tastes like orange tang. I don't know if you remember that from back in the day for all of my 40 plusers that are watching, but the orange tang is like it's what it sounds like, an orange tangy kind of sweet drink. That's what this tastes like, but when you mix it in your 8-ounce glass of water, you got to drink it up fast. Once you mix it, you drink it up fast. Otherwise, it turns into a gelatin, which is kind of the thing that happens when it goes into your body. It helps to collect all the pieces of the rubbish, the waste that needs to come through and move it on through and out. So this is a beautiful thing that you can add in if you know that you don't get enough fiber in your diet from certain vegetables and in the foods and fruits and lentils that you eat or beans that you eat. please do check this out. It's called Metamucil, and it is so good for you. It's so yummy and delicious tasting, and it's good for the whole family too. So you can do this on a daily if you're having problems with your bowels and having a regular movement, or you can do it on a week-to-week basis. But I really do suggest this. It doesn't leave a weird or bad aftertaste. You just have to drink it quickly. And if you don't drink it quickly, you're going to understand very quickly what I mean by mix it up, drink it up, get it down really fast. So there we go. That's the sponsor, Metamucil. Thank you so much, Metamucil. Thank you so much for your sponsorship, and thank you so much for believing in me in this podcast and my journey here in helping people to live their best life from the inside out. This is a very affordable reason and a very safe and effective way to get your waste out and bowel movements on a regular standpoint, and not be taking really harsh things that are really damaging to your insides, like laxatives. So keeping it regular, guys. Keep it regular right there. Metamucil. Anyway, enough about that. So welcome, you guys. Big topic today. We are going to be discussing, and I'm going to keep checking over on my other pages that I have to keep switching in and out. Remember, if you want to join in on the conversation in real time, you have to go to YouTube at Cara Chris TV. You have to put the @ symbol at Cara Chris TV. You can go to YouTube, and you can go on Facebook, and those are the only two platforms that I can see in real time. Otherwise, I'm just shuffling back and forth. So please apologize. I apologize and accept my apology for not seeing your comments if you do comment right away. But thank you so much for joining. Please do hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Sharing is caring for anybody that you know that needs a little guidance and help, and little gentle pushes and hurrah, hurrah, cheering in their corner to get them to living their best life. I'm here for them. So today's topic, hi, Bo. Hi, good to see you here. Thank you. I'm keeping check on my microphone today. But so today's topic, mental health. How does mental health affect your physical health? I think in so many ways your mental health affects your physical health, whether it's the level of stress that's affecting you and the cortisol levels are affecting your weight gain, or you're giving yourself ulcers, or giving yourself cancer even. You can give yourself sickness, all kinds of things, because you're breaking down your defense system. And we're going to talk about how that is and why, and how you can prevent that from happening. So let's just see what's happening here. Sorry, and I'm back. My dog just pulled my cord out for this. Welcome to the live shows, you guys. You're always gonna get the real here. Now that my microphone, this time it's not my microphone, it's the cord to the what do you call it? Camera that my dog decided to pull out. So, here we go. Here we go. Pancho, no. Stay away, Pancho. My dog. My dog's trying to wreck the studio, you guys. He's trying to wreck the studio up. No, you stay right there. All right, here we go. Back to it. My apologies for that. Okay, diving in. Let's go. Let's see. All right, I'm going to have to switch over here so I can read it, like pull it back down. All right, how does mental health affect physical health? Do you guys know anybody that has a little mental health disorder? Maybe they know about it. Maybe they don't know about it. Maybe they are actively trying to help that situation, and some people aren't even aware that they might have that. So mental health can come in many different ways. It can come as something that you're born with. Maybe you have your levels are off inside and you need a little additional assistance via medication to get you back on track. And some people, it's situational and outside elements that cause that scenario to happen. It could be trauma and abuse. It could be PTSD. It comes in many forms, right? So, how does that affect our health, and how can we adjust that and make it less traumatizing to our bodies, right? So, what we know about being in a stressed scenario is cortisol, and cortisol releases a chemical that can turn your inside of your body to fat storage. And that's absolutely not, that's the last thing you want, right? When you're already dealing with something that's so damaging that it is affecting your mental, and now it's going to be affecting your physical. So, how to get the physical part or the mental part in shape to be able to get the physical part in shape, that's where you have to start. Some people are working out and they're trying to eat right and do all those things, but they're not realizing that their physical status, the way that they are approaching their life and they're approaching situations in their daily life, can affect their weight gain and or even just their illnesses altogether. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let me get off there. Okay, so effects of mental health. Let's go into it. Although the mind and body are often viewed as being separate, mental and physical health are actually closely related. Good mental health can positively affect your physical health. In return, poor mental health can negatively affect your physical health. Now, remember, this is all from WebMD. You know, I have my places that are tried and true and trusted, and that's WebMD, that's Healthline.com, and the Mayo Clinic. Those are the places I go. I feel like there's plenty of backing if you deep dive on where they get their information. It's tried and true, tested, and over long periods of time. They work with doctors, they work with a doctor's organization, and they use their data from those doctors. So, your mental health plays a huge role in your general well-being. Being in a good mental state can keep you healthy and help prevent serious health conditions. Don't you agree that with that though? Like when you're in a good state of mind, when you're happy and feeling good, it gets you motivated, right? You want to get out and get, you're motivated to do things for yourself, right? Like go to the gym or start a new program, or maybe you want to eat healthier. It's just a mindset, right? And when you're in a bad state, right, you want to eat the bad foods, the yummy foods, the foods that are going to give you that quick release of that serotonin, that dopamine that's going to give you that like jolt of happy feeling. And that's what food does. That's what it does when it hits your palate, when it gives you a sense of euphoria and a quick sense of happiness. That's why people have a food addiction. So we can see how it's a down spiral if you are looking for those comfort foods when you're in sad, depressed state, because you're sad and you're depressed and you want to lift that up. But we don't want to turn to food, right? You don't want food to be your addiction, because food is just like a drug. It can kill you at the end because of all of the diseases that comes along with it. So how can we stop it affecting the physical? You have to tackle the root of the problem, which is the mental. Whether it's a mental disorder that you were born with, or that you've accumulated, or that it's PTSD or some kind of trauma or stress that you went through. But it also could just be your daily life of stress of bills, stress of work, stress of feeding your kids, keeping a roof over your head. All of those things, they all play a factor in your mental status, and that all plays a factor in your well-being, your physical well-being. So, what is linked to it, you might say? Okay. Sorry. Did I scroll more? Okay. Your mental health plays a huge role in your general well-being. Let me go back over to you so you can see me clearly. And so I can see if my mic goes off this time. Being in a good mental state can keep you healthy and help prevent serious health conditions. A study found that positive psychological well-being can reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. So keeping yourself in a positive status, like people say, learn breathing techniques or take a walk. And like I'm always like, take a walk and get some fresh air. You wouldn't believe how quickly that does work. Like it does. It just does. Try it. You never know till you give it a go, right? Don't just take my word for it. Just try it. What another client of mine used to do is just like either like excessive high knees or just start doing jumping jacks or push-ups or burpees, just like whenever feeling frustrated or just like out of control of the emotion, to gain control back of the emotion and pull that cortisol back down, just an explosive amount of physical energy, and then he would be fine. It's like whatever you have to do, you have to learn you and know you, but you have to take measures. You can't just let it eat at you, because it will literally eat at you and affect you physically. So, a study found that positive psychological well-being, meaning having control of your emotion and being able to pull yourself out of the depths of the darkness, or flatlining into like seeing only red and being wall-eyed and pigeon-eyed, not being able to see anything else outside of you, outside of the anger. You have to learn to control your emotions. Especially, I know it's a hard trait, but if you're an adult, anyone over 18, come on, we gotta do better with that. On the other hand, poor mental health can lead to poor physical health or harmful behaviors. Chronic diseases. Depression has been linked to many chronic diseases. These illnesses include diabetes, asthma, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and arthritis. And you think, what? How is arthritis and diabetes linked to your mental status, right? Well, let's talk about it. So, schizophrenia has also been linked to a higher risk of heart and respiratory diseases. Mental health conditions can also make dealing with a chronic illness more difficult. The mortality rate from cancer and heart disease is higher among people with depression or other mental health conditions. Now, why would that be, do you think? Do you think that because people with these bigger disorders, they have too much stressors on their minds, so they put too much stressors on their bodies? I mean, it's possible, right? Let me read this comment over here by Bo. It says, in AA, we say think, think, think. First thought wrong. Elaborate on that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Think, think, think. First thought wrong. Interesting. You can elaborate on that while I continue on. Sleep problems. People with mental health conditions are more likely to suffer from sleep disorders like insomnia or sleep apnea. Insomnia can make it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep. Sleep apnea leads to breathing problems, which can cause you to wake up frequently, which, if you're waking up frequently, you're not getting into that REM. And why does sleep matter so much? Sleep is the absolute best time your body can work fully on the ailments that you have going on in it. It can't work on it when it's operating on, oh, well, now I have to roll over. Now you need me to wake up and go to the bathroom. Now you need me to this, that, and the other thing. It really needs full REM rest to be able to handle the inflammation, the ulcers, the battles between the blood cells, all the free radicals you got for roaming around in there, or maybe you have an infection or a disease or something that's going on. Your body can't fight that stuff if it's also got to be working on the food you're putting in it, walking, thinking, grabbing things, moving your fingers, moving your hands, all the other operations that are going on. So sleep is the absolute best time to heal. And if you're stealing that from your body, you're not giving it enough sleep. And then in your wake hours, you're spending it stressed out, just a full body stressor, right? Because of your mental status. And then you're not working it out. You're sitting in a position the same too long of a time. And then you're feeding it all of these foods that are not giving it enough nutrition. So think about what can you expect of your body, right? Of course, it's going to be going down that path. Of course, it's going to be giving you heartache and headache and all of these heavy, daunting scenarios, because you're not giving it enough back. And I know you know that at the end of the day when you're thinking about it, right? You can't possibly expect it to perform properly and not have all these ailments when all you're doing is spending most of your time damaging it. But the good news is it's like a body shop, right? Like you take your car to a body shop and you get it back in working order and it's better than ever. No matter how many miles it has on it, no matter, all the little nicks and dings and scars and scrapes that are on it, it can still run optimally if you take it to the body shop and you give it a little TLC. Your body is the same. You got to give it a little TLC and it can perform well for you all over again. That's the beauty of your body. That's the beautiful nature of your body is you can get it back to restored health and make it run better than ever by just giving it that TLC that it needs and cutting back on all the things that are tearing it down and damaging it in the first place. Right? You got this. But sleep is a huge part of that, right? You have to have sleep. And people with sleep apnea, you can definitely get that into check by going in and having them do the sleep study for you and finding out if you need to have one of those Bane, Darth Vader type breathing apparitions that go on your face to where you look like you're like from, what's that movie with Charlize Theron? They're out in the desert. Well, I can't think of it right now. They're out in the desert and they're just like, it's all dirt and they got freaking the mask on so they could breathe. Air's toxic. I can't remember. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The Charlize Theron. Oh my gosh. It's like, I don't know. Somebody will learn it. I've learned to think things through. God. Yes, thinking things through always is going to be helpful. I have some of my coffee in my hot mug. Okay, so I know it's late, but it sat around for so long because I was doing so much today. I'm in the space now. I'm hitting that. As soon as you hit that 45 mark, it's like, okay, I have all of these things that now I have to go in and get checked out and all the things. So it's important to do that because you don't want time wasted. In today's world, we have such advanced healthcare systems that maybe 10 years ago, what couldn't be fixed or reversed is now you're able to do it if you catch it in time. So I'm all about that preemptive, making sure you go in, even if you don't have something, make sure you get checked for all of the things so you can catch anything at any moment in the early stages. And hopefully it's enough to get, to not go down the road that so many are going down with cancer, sadly. So here we go. Let me just rewind it back down. Excuse me. Okay. My gosh, I still can't read it. Okay. Around 50%, this is a big number. These are big numbers, you guys. Around 50% to 80% of people with mental health conditions will also have sleeping problems. Is that not wild? But if you think about it, right? 50 to 80% that have mental health disorders are going to have sleeping issues because what does a mental health disorder have to do with? Your mind, right? And what does getting a deep sleep have to do with? Your mind being comfortable enough to get that deep sleep, right? So it makes sense when you break it down, at least for me, in my humble opinion and very logical brain. I think, okay, well, that makes sense because if your mental capacity is in some way obscured or not in the space it needs to be in, but you need to be totally relaxed and comfortable for your mind to reach that deep REM state, of course it makes sense that you get a little bit more lack of sleep. So only 10% to 18% of the general population experience sleeping problems. So here they're saying, remember, this is on WebMD. I only go through WebMD, Mayo Clinic, or healthline.com. Those are the places I trust to grab my knowledge to be able to share with you and feel confident that the information we're getting is tried and true. So it says only 10% to 18% of general population experience sleeping problems, while conditions like depression, anxiety, and bipolar disorder may lead to sleep problems. Sleep problems can also make existing mental health conditions worse, because we just talked about that, right? So does anybody know anybody that has sleep issues due to, they've got, maybe they're antidepressant, they've gone through PTSD, of course, or maybe something traumatic in their lives. Of course, when you sleep, your brain plays tricks on you, right? You can go into, or maybe you watch too many scary movies as a kid. I remember having really bad anxiety and bad dreams through high school because I had watched too many. I snuck and watched too many scary movies, like Freddy Krueger and Jason and movies like that. And I used to have a deck I was on the second floor, and I would have a deck that came off of my room. So my dad built this deck so my friends and I could come in and out of my room without tramping all the way through the house. So I just had access to my room, which I thought was amazing. Of course, as any kid, you want to have access with your friends to your room and like being able, well, then it made me, when I snuck those movies and I'm like, oh gosh, Jason's going to come in or Freddy's going to come, my mind was playing tricks on me. Of course, I grew out of that. My imagination shut that down. But it's a big deal, right? Your mental capacity for what you deal with is a big deal. So so I can see how these things can affect, especially if you've gone through something traumatic, like, people coming back from war. I totally understand how they could have an issue with sleeping. And sometimes, there are a lot of things that you can take to help you sleep better through the night. I think at one point I took Lunesta, and I really liked the way that that was for me. I was able to sleep and then wake up and not feel groggy. But when I started getting my licenses and getting my schooling for what I'm in now, my health and wellness, and going down that path of health and wellness, I definitely wanted to be as in the purest form that I could. So I would take melatonin for any time that I needed to rest my mind, but I wanted to get out of that realm. But there are things that help you sleep. It just depends on you. Like, does it make you feel groggy? Does it make you feel lethargic the next day? You just have to find something that works best for you. And look at the things that are out. Always ask about the side effects. Are the side effects going to be detrimental to your health? How do they affect your organs and your glands? How is it affecting any of the other medications that you're on? You just want to do what's right and the best and healthiest option for you. So, smoking, it all comes down to me. Smoking is just a thing, right? So many things. How many times do we bring up smoking on this channel that has to do with an effect of your health? Of course, it's going to affect your health. People with mental health conditions are more likely to smoke than those who do not have mental health conditions. Among smokers, people with mental health conditions are more likely to smoke a greater number of cigarettes. Excuse me. Let me just raise this up a little bit so I can see it. There we go. Okay, people with depression have lower levels of the chemical dopamine. And dopamine is the chemical that gets you that good euphoric feeling, that happy feeling that you need to have to be in a positive mental status. So people with depression have lower levels of the chemical dopamine. Dopamine influences positive feelings in your brain. The nicotine in cigarettes triggers the production of the chemical dopamine. So smoking may be used as a way to relieve symptoms of depression. I think we've talked about this before, about people in movies or people in your life, if they're ever like, oh, I'm so stressed, I need a cigarette. So it's same kind of concept for people that have an addiction to food. I'm so stressed, I need to eat something yummy that's going to give me that shot of dopamine in my surge of dopamine that makes me feel good right now because I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling stressed, right? So it's the same thing that happens with the nicotine. So I get it. I understand why people get addicted to these things. I'm a foodie, so I was very addicted to food through my emotional well-being. There are so many other ways that you can get that feeling without going down this rabbit hole. You just have to put the effort in the time, and it can happen. So the nicotine symptoms of depression, smoking may be used as a way to, okay. However, since nicotine only offers temporary relief, you may feel a reoccurring need to smoke, which can lead to possible addiction, right? Duh. That's just how that works. So access to healthcare. People with mental health conditions are less likely to have access to adequate healthcare. It may, interesting. That's interesting. It may also be more difficult for people with mental health conditions to take care of their physical health when you have a mental health condition, right? Because you're not feeling organized, you're not feeling like doing anything, you're not feeling like being assertive in any kind of way. So that totally makes sense, right? It can be hard to seek care, take prescriptions regularly, or get enough exercise because you're not feeling like it, right? Because you have this situation. That's what I like about these pages. So anything I'm bringing to you when it comes to big topics like this that are science-based or backed by science and the health industry, you have to go to those places that you can trust the sources because they work with the doctors' panels and they get their resources straight from studies and data entry, right? So that's what this is. That's what healthline.com is. That's what WebMD is, and that's what the Mayo Clinic. And they're just going to give you just the tried and true facts. They're not entering any of their this is how I feel about it or ideals or anything like that. It's just straight up facts, right? This is what they bring you. Just straight up facts. They're not trying to insert any type of this thing or that thing in it. So, sorry, I forgot to silence my phone again. My bad. Okay, so healthcare, blah blah blah. Let me go back up. Okay, here we go. Physical health conditions that may affect your mental health. Your physical well being also has an impact on your mental health, which is what the whole topic is. People with physical health conditions may also develop mental health conditions. Psoriasis is a dermatological condition characterized by painful red sores on the skin. It's associated with acute stress and depression. So, did you guys know that? I certainly didn't. Psoriasis. Do you know what psoriasis is? It's when you get welts or patches. You ever see anybody that have they're so stressed out, or maybe it's on TV or maybe it's in real life, they're so stressed out they break out in hives, or they have patches on them. That's psoriasis. Can kind of sometimes be mistaken with eczema. They're in the same kind of category. But bringing your stress level down, that just shows the intensity and the powerfulness behind the chemical that is released when you're stressed out and the damage that it can do just immensely right there in the moment. Oh no, I don't. I can't see it. Thank you for telling me that. Sorry if you guys are commenting on YouTube. I guess it's not showing up. I apologize for that. I'm not quite sure why. So let me see. Thank you for telling me about that. Let's see. Going here, going up. It should be on X. You guys should be on X, Facebook. It says it's on YouTube right now, and TikTok, X, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. That's what I see over here. Let me just give it a go. Let me see if that worked. Try it again. I apologize if you guys are watching on YouTube and I'm not responding to you. I'm not seeing it on this end of my platform, so I do apologize for that. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Yes. So going back, yes, that's right. We're talking about, mental health. I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting comments from X and from TikTok that I'm trying to weigh in on. And it's so fast, I can't read all of your name tags, your username. So I apologize for that. Let me continue on and then I'll go back and check on that. Physical health conditions that may affect. Okay, we went over psoriasis. So individuals with psoriasis experience emotional and physiological distress that negatively impact their overall health and quality of life. So a lot of people that have psoriasis, you may not even know that it's affected. You're getting that from your mental status. Maybe you're stressing. People can stress out and carry that and not really feel like they are. They're not really it's not something that's apparent to them, that you're not like panicky stressed. You're just kind of carrying stress and then you're having these breakouts. Pay attention to those things because that just shows you, those are your warning signs from your body that you are going through something that you need to address, because those are the things that if they're affecting your body to where you're seeing it physically on your body, imagine what it's doing on the inside where you can't see, where you're not able to see that. You want to be able to address it. And a lot of times when it comes to your mind, you're able to do things that will bring you back to a positive place by simply your breathing techniques. There are simple stretches you can do, just physical activity. Like I said, just getting up and walking, just walk. You can walk outside, you can walk around the block, walk around your car, just walking outside and breathing in fresh air. Even if it's cold outside, just breathing in that little bit of fresh air just for the moment and taking deep breaths in and letting it out. To my clients, I say just 5 deep breaths, that you just can go and take 5 deep breaths in, calming your mind, calming that space around you, breathing out, thinking of something positive and happy that makes you feel good is going to be so huge and detrimental on the way that your body responds to the stress that you're experiencing. So if you just take that one little bit of time, take some deep breaths in, especially if it's fresh air, you got to get out of the space you're in because you've already clouded it with your negative energy, with that negative toxic energy. So when you go relieve yourself from that space, take in good positive energy, relieving yourself of that negative space, and then coming back into the area you were in, you have now surrounded yourself with this positive vibe and this positive vibration that it will cancel out and diminish the negative energy around your space. So it's really a powerful thing, but you have to leave the space that you're in and just take a walk. Just take a walk. It could just be to the bathroom and back, to a water cooler and back, whatever the situation. Just take a quick little break. Take a quick break from yourself. Take a quick break from whatever your mindset was in. You just got to take the break. Okay, individuals with psoriasis. I know, I'm so sorry, you guys over on YouTube. I apologize. I'm not quite sure what's happening right there. Individuals with psoriasis experience emotional and physiological distress with negative impacts. We already went over that. Stress and depression mainly come from anxiety, stigma, and rejection. So stress and depression mainly come from anxiety, stigma, and rejection. So think about if you go in and you're talking about to your doctor, you might have some depression because you're feeling this way or that way. Get a little more deep into the scenario before you settle on something, because those antidepressants are really strong on your body. They really have a strong hold over the rest of your emotions. A lot of people experience feeling numb and lethargic and not being able to express all of their emotions evenly, and it can do a lot of damage on your organs and certain glands. So make sure you are tackling the right problem. You don't want to go into there saying you have depression when really it's anxiety. And anxiety can lead, a lot of things can lead to depression, but make sure it's something that you bring up to your doctor. You want to get a full diagnosis before landing on something. So, and a lot of those antidepressant pills can also have a negative impact on the other things that you're taking. So you just want to make sure you're not slow damaging those vital organs inside that you need to function properly. So individuals with psoriasis experience motion. Okay, I already went there. Being diagnosed, hold on, let me just swoop this up a little bit. Being diagnosed with cancer or having a heart attack can also lead to feelings of depression or anxiety. Duh, right? Around 1/3 of people with serious medical conditions will have symptoms of depression, such as low mood, sleep problems, and loss of interest or in activities. So, I mean, of course, that's what happens when you're not feeling like yourself. That's why it's so important to stay active in some kind of realm. Whether you have a job that's moving around, where you're constantly moving around and you're getting some type of physical activity in, but you're still getting stressed out. that's not aiding you. So if you've got a job where you're constantly moving around, but you're staying in that stressed out state, guess what you're doing? You're canceling out the benefits because you're releasing too much cortisol, which is absolutely 100% blocking the positive benefits that's happening from getting your body moving and your circulation moving and everything working properly for you. And then you're bringing in this combative war stance with the cortisol that's just nipping all that right in the bud. So staying in that healthy space where you're breathing it in, getting that good oxygen in, and letting that negative energy out is going to be your best bet. So getting, how to take care of your mental health and physical health. All right, if you want to improve your general well-being, you should take care of both your physical and mental health. All right, well, that's pretty obvious, I think. Here are some ways to take care of your physical and mental health. Get regular exercise. Of course, we already know exercise is important for keeping physical fit, but it can also improve your mood. A daily 10-minute walk. Just 10 minutes, you guys. And you know I'm a huge advocate for 10 minutes. But listen here. In March, I'm going to be starting that 5-minute body break. So it's going to be 5 minutes and I'm going to do it on a daily, Monday through Friday. I'm going to have it posted up where you take a 5-minute body break. I'm going to do it around 11 o'clock. A lot of people start work at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And by the time it comes 11 o'clock, maybe you've been sitting in that sitting position for too long, you're data entry, working at your computer, whatever it is, you need a 5-minute body break. And even that body break can be so detrimental on your mental and your physical. And who knows, just from getting in that active space, that 5-minute break, for my clients, people that come to me and I give them just, we cross molehills to reach the top of the mountain. We don't stare at the top of the mountain and feel that pressure on you. It's all about little baby steps. So taking that little bit of a break and getting your body moving, stretching out, and just getting that circulation going is going to be more positive on your impact of your mental status, which is going to be positive on your physical status. So taking that little break rather than going a whole day and letting all that frustration and everything build up and then your body hasn't moved at all. You're not getting any circulation in there. You're not getting any break from what you're doing. You're getting too much screen time. You're not feeding your mind, body, and spirit. It all is connected. You have to feed them all. You can't just feed one element. You got to feed them all. But by feeding your body, by being active, is going to feed most of those. So activity, moving your body around, even just that 5-minute body break that I'm going to do with you guys starting in March. I'm going to start that series. And also just moving in general. Like I said, that walking pad, which I was a huge advocate for, which I am a huge advocate for, just walking. You could, even if you're on your phone or you're watching a show or whatever, you are going to walk. You can walk for a show. If you're a binge watcher for shows, get on there and just walk. If you just walk for a show, that's what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on what show you're watching. I mean, it's really going to be so beneficial for you to have that. Let's see, get regular exercise. Exercise is important. 10-minute walk may increase your mental alertness, leaving you energetic and in a good mood. So true. Eat a proper diet. A diet high in fruits, vegetables, and low in processed sugars, fats can make you feel better physically and mentally. It's true because you have those nutrients inside rather than having the things that are breaking your system down on the inside. Consider working with a qualified nutritionist. That would be me. To help you create a diet plan customized according to your needs. And remember, you guys, so starting in March, I'm also with the 5-minute body break. That's just going to be daily posts Monday through Friday, so you guys can get a little break. And I'm going to guide you through that 5 minutes, and you guys can do it along with me and get your nice mental and physical break in for only 5 minutes, and going to get you right on track. But for those of you that are subscribing to my channels, my Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok channels. Those are going to be live broadcasts for the subscribers, and we are going to do daily workouts. You can choose any workout. It's going to be 5 days a week, so you can choose any days that you want as a subscriber. It's going to be open and available to you. We're going to hit all parts of the body throughout that time. So make sure you do subscribe by March. It's $9.99 a month for constant classes Monday through Friday, and my guidance with health, wellness, and nutrition on the back end. You guys need help with that or just getting a little bit of structure. I just go over your medical history, find out what you're on, and then I can help guide you from there. But really, you can only lead the horse to water. You have to be able to drink it on your own. So you have to make those efforts on your own end. But making 2025 your best year yet, that is what I'm hoping to help you do. 2025 is going to be your year. You're going to own it. You're going to own it. Eating a proper diet, you guys already know. Avoid alcohol and drugs. I mean, that's kind of how, come on, to get in better mental and physical, you have to avoid alcohol and drugs. It's just a thing. But this is on WebMD. You guys can look this report up on your own. I don't get this from any other source other than the sources that I trust in. So getting enough sleep, okay? Look, if you are struggling with sleep and you want something all natural, I'm a huge advocate for melatonin. Don't overdo it. You don't need to overdo it. Just enough to relax your mind. Your body produces it naturally, so it's naturally understood by your body, so it's not going to treat it as a foreign object and create havoc in your body. So it's a really nice way to help you shut your mind down and get some good quality sleep. So then your army inside can work on, and your first aid responders can work on the ailments that you need to be working in a better, your body functioning in optimal performance when you are awake. So getting enough sleep, a good night's sleep is around 7 to 9 hours for adults. You can also take a 30-minute nap during the day to feel more alert. I'm a huge advocate of a nap. If your body is shutting down, like literally you're like, I just need to shut my eyes. If you're in a space that you're able to do that, like whether it's in your car at work and you need to take a quick little hiatus, getting that is going to help your body. You only need 20 minutes for your body to reset, reboot. If you're able to get a good 20 minutes in, and once you are awakened from that 20 minutes, you're able to have optimal performance for your mind to get your tasks done. You're going to be way more efficient than it is if you're trying to power through it with a clouded mind because it's exhausted and tired. And that's when you make mistakes, right? When your mind's exhausted, you're not thinking clearly. You're blocked. You're blocked, you're cut off, you're muted. You need to make sure, if you're able to, step out into your car, get that 20 minutes if you're at work or at your house and you're working and your brain is like, no, I can't, just give me some time. You only need that 20 minutes. So 20 minutes to reboot, reset, and then get back at it and be more efficient. I feel like there's many things, right, that employers could do for their employees at a job. I feel like making sure, checking in on mental health status. A lot of people have things going on, and just having someone to talk to is a big thing, right? Like having someone on staff where they can go in and talk to about their issues. And there are some big corporations that do this, and I think it's beautiful. We're human. We have life going on, and you can't expect people to run at their optimal performance if they have something real big going on. Maybe they're being abused, maybe they got like they just lost a loved one or a child or whatever situation going on in your household, and then you're not a robot. You can't come to work and be expected to work optimally. Like this show I've been watching called Severance. It's very interesting, but it is exactly kind of what I'm talking about. And like, it's such an interesting concept. And I love things that make me think outside the box because I live outside the box. So I welcome those thoughts, but it's kind of like, if you're going through something, you need not everybody has someone to speak to about things or talk to or run ideas or just offload. Sometimes you just got to do a overhaul, a dump of your thoughts and your feelings. And that's why journaling is so big. You can really answer a lot of your own problems and issues and work them out just by writing it out. You just start writing. Just start writing your thoughts down on a tablet or typing them on notes in a computer. And you'll be amazed and shocked at what you're able to work through by just letting it all out. So at jobs, I feel like they should have that, and they should have, like every 2 hours having like a 5 minute, like I'm doing the 5 minute body work in March. Every 2 hours is getting up and moving, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe you spend that time just walking around outside, out the building, just or walking up and down the stairs if you're so inclined. But fresh air is everything, you guys. It really is. So I feel like that and having someone to talk to, just having like that physical and mental check-in is a powerhouse when it comes to being efficient at work. So um, try relaxation techniques. Meditation, deep breathing, and focusing your thoughts can all help when you are feeling stressed. You guys know I'm a big advocate of that breathing techniques, just breathing techniques, meditation. There's so many. If you have Spotify or Apple or Amazon, their music stations, they all have, and even on YouTube for free, they all have meditation breathing techniques that you can do there's 1 minute, there's 3 minutes, there's 5 minutes, there's 10 minutes, there's all sorts. If you just type in however many minutes you have to catering to your mental health well-being, do it. Type it in. Type in 1 minute breathing techniques on YouTube, and it'll be someone that puts the proper music on that is for you, that hits on those levels that you need to hear, the vibrations in your ears, and it will guide you. A lot of them will guide you right through it. So I love those things. Sometimes when my mind is racing, like I've started so many projects and I'm just like, I can't shut my brain off because it's just constantly thinking about new ideas and new things. I have to put a guided meditation, someone saying, okay, what it is just doing this. It's taking all these like random, sporadic, like spontaneous, free flowing thoughts and ideas and everything that's going through your brain, and it's focusing it down, saying, hey, over here, look, listen, hey, right here. And it's bringing your thought right here. We're just focusing on breathing. We're going to focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're focusing on silence. We're focusing on whatever it's guided to tell you. And it just brings you back to the moment, being in that moment and not letting your mind race. It is so beautiful to do it when you need it the most, and keeping your mentality, your mental status in check. You have to check your mental status too. It's not all about now what this topic is about how that mental status affects your physical. You don't want to have every time your mind's racing, you just released an abundance of cortisol, and now you're just storing all this extra fat, and now your insulin resistance is going up, and now you're causing ulcers in your stomach or acid reflux or all kinds of things that can happen when you're letting your mind take control. You have to take control of your mind, and those 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute guided relaxation breathing techniques on YouTube, just look them up. There's so many of them, and find the voice that's right for you. There's so many voices out there that you just need something that resonates with you, that can bring your mind back to a peaceful status so you can focus on the things that matter, especially when you're at work or you're trying to get through something that you need to have full attention to because you need to do a good job so you can keep your job, right? So, trying relaxing techniques is another thing. Develop good mental practices like this. Some people do this on a daily basis because it just keeps them centered and focused. Like I know people, it's like clients that have talked to me in the past about how they were having sleeping issues. And then I told them about this 1, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, whatever, breathing techniques, guided breathing focus or breathing techniques for either stress. Type in what it is. 1 minute, I have 2 minutes, 2 minutes guided breathing techniques for stress, or I'm having trouble sleeping, guided breathing techniques for sleep. There's something for every scenario, and it will have the type of music with the type of tones that need to be heard in your mind, in your ears, for your mind to be able to relax, like vibrations on certain levels. That is all science backed. They do these studies, and it's for a reason. So that's why you have to, when you type it in, put it what it's for. You don't want to put something for sleep that you need for stress, because you're not trying to fall asleep at work. You're trying to get it to focus on stress. So there are different levels, and there's for a reason. So Develop good mental practices. Try focusing on positive emotions and events rather than negative ones. 100%. You guys know that I've been doing that book, The Magic. It's written by The Secret. And the magic is, pretty much like daily. Well, you read it at night, you think about it at night and kind of go over it, what the next day is going to be, so you can be ready for it mentally and prepared in the morning to start that that daily, whatever it is, the task that you're given for the day. So it's really about refocusing your mind. How I'm always talking about changing your relationship with food. You have to change your relationship with food and how you view it, not looking at it as this is going to make me feel good in the moment when I'm sad. You have to look at it like I need positive reinforcement inside my body and not something that's going to tear me down. Like those processed foods and refined sugars are just going to make me feel worse. You have to rewrite the script in your mind of what those foods are going to do for you so you can change the relationship. Well, this is the same thing for your mental capacity with this book. It's kind of like changing the way you approach the day mentally rather than focusing on the things that are negative in your day. Even if you have what you consider the worst case scenario that you've been in your entire existence, if you find positive things and the things that you can say you're grateful for rather than looking at what you don't have, they call them the lackers. People that are lackers are just going to get more lack. People are like the lack of, oh, I don't have this, oh, I don't have that, focusing on not having money, focusing when you are not grateful for what you do have, that too can be taken away. So look in your life, what else can be taken away? If you feel like you have nothing, can your eyesight be taken away? Can your legs be taken away? Can you get in a car accident or some type of accident that those things can be taken from you? Of course. So living in that status of lack can bring you more lack. It's like the process of what you put out is what you get back, right? So if you're focused on positive, you're going to get more positive. If you're focused on being grateful for the things that you have in your day, you're going to get more things in your life that are filled with reasons to be grateful for. So it's the one of one law, the law of attraction, right? So develop good mental practices. Try to focus on positive emotions and events rather than negative ones. So that is going to help you. Let's say you're in a bad state, right? And you're like, oh, I just can't with this. What's the state? What else could go wrong? And then more goes wrong because you brought that on. You aren't positive and grateful for looking at the situation saying, well, at least it didn't go this route. At least it could have gone worse and it wasn't. That is going to bring you out of that state. That's going to get you focusing on something that was good and bring your status into a heightened place rather than sinking you deeper into the depths of that situation. Doesn't that make sense? I feel like it does. So, commenting on YouTube, not sure if you can see. Yeah, I know. I'm going to switch over here and let me see you guys. Oops, sorry about that. I know. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, Tina. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you guys for the follows. I'm sorry I haven't gone back over. I haven't been looking. I apologize, but I am so grateful. Thank you guys so much for joining me over there on TikTok. Yes, I know. I can see you, but it's so fast. I'm not able to see you quick. I'm not able to say it quick enough. I have to stay on the main screen or I go blurry for some reason. But thank you guys so much for all the follows and all the love you're giving me over on TikTok and X. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm not able to see all of your comments. Okay, moving along, develop good mental health, staying focused. Yeah, staying focused on positive. Guys, this book is so good. I'm telling you right now, especially if you are someone who you feel like has just had a rough go at it for the last year, 2 years, 5 years, or maybe your whole life. Get this book. I'm telling you right now. Or go on. I had the link on my main page on YouTube at Cara Chris TV. The link is on there, or you can type it in right now. It is The Magic Book by The Secret. So it's The Magic Book by The Secret, and it gives you a day-by-day look at what that book is. If you can't afford to get that book right now, you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't not be able to have a heightened experience because you can't afford to do something. So I really want to, if you are able to get the book, it is a beautiful thing to have. I'm nostalgic like that, like having a book in your hand and reading it and then being able to pass it down to someone with your highlighted notes and stuff. That's kind of my jam with that. But you guys go on there, it will change your life, honestly, no matter what space you're in. I don't get any kickbacks from that book. I'm only just telling you guys because this is like tried and true. This is how I feel. I don't promote anything that I'm not 100% backed by. Like I wholeheartedly am in on. And that book is so amazing about just leveling up your mindset, leveling up how you approach your life will just automatically be better because you're viewing it in a different light, that maybe you've lost your way and seeing how the positive things before you see the negative things. Don't be someone that's a lack of. The lack of is I don't have this, I don't have that, or envy or jealousy or anything like that. This is really about your journey and leveling up your mind. When you level up your mind and the way that you view your life, it's going to change exponentially by the way that you're putting out that positive light and getting positive back. That's the end goal, right? That's what we want. Let me just scooch this up. Try relaxation, development, good chat. Seek help from others. Talking with friends or family members can help you feel less stressed. Getting others to help with difficult situations can also reduce the burden you feel. With this one, tread lightly, because here's the deal. If you are constantly, and this is how I talk with my patients or my clients who come to me, I switch back from patients and clients, I'm sorry. If you're constantly talking about the negativity of something, then some people might not understand. Let's say you're always complaining about your relationship, and then you want them to like your partner, right? If all they're hearing about is all the negative things and they're not hearing anything positive, they're wondering, why are you with this person, right? So don't forget to be focused on, hey, this is something great going on in my life. I wanted to share that with you, and let them see the good side of things too. Maybe at your work also, they're constantly hearing you talk bad about your work. But maybe when you start looking at your work a little bit differently, then you're not going to feel so daunted by it, and then you're going to start sharing more positive things. You can infect the pool around you by the negative thoughts that you keep spilling, right? And then when you're surrounded yourself by this negativity, it affects the people that are around you. Maybe they don't want to hear it anymore, so they start backing off from you. It affects your mental status and your well-being, and now it affects your physical. You don't want to go down the route where you're just constantly infecting yourself in a negative way from the way that you perceive things, the way you're talking about, the way you fill your space. You can't expect to fill your space with so much negativity and positive things happen for you. It just doesn't work like that, right? You have to want to do things better by putting a more positive outlook out there. So let me just, let me type that in and see if I can find the breathing techniques. I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to pull it up on YouTube and then share that with you guys, because I really think you're going to understand when I show you what I'm talking about. Breathing. I put guided. That's what I put. Guided breathing techniques. This is what I'm typing in for stress. Let's just see if I can find one that's quick and easy here. Okay, I don't go to the ads. Okay, this is called How to Calm Feelings of Stress and Anxiety. So this one is a 2-minute and 45-second jam. Let's go there. Let me share that screen with you guys. Here we go. I have got my computer too close to me. There we go. Share screen and guided breathing techniques. Share. Let's go there. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Trevor. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. I know my hair is just getting all caught up on this microphone. All right. Sharing the screen. Let me go here and I'm going to the guided breathing, and let's go back over here. There we go. Now let's see. There it is. Okay, let me click on this one and see.
There are times when we all experience feelings of stress or anxiety. In these moments, you can use your breath to help calm those feelings. Box breathing is a simple relaxation technique that can help you reset your breath and return to its normal rhythm.
Breathing is what
you can do it anywhere, anytime. Box breathing can help reduce stress and improve mood. It can also help with controlling and managing emotions. It's very easy to learn. Imagine breathing around a box.
Okay.
Inhale
around a box.
as you visualize going up one side of the box, gradually filling your lungs with air.
Before.
When you reach the top, hold your breath for 1 to 5 seconds as you picture going across the top of the box. Exhale gradually as you imagine traveling down the other side of the box. Pause again for 1 to 5 seconds as you go along the bottom of the box. Then repeat. This can be done 7 to 10 times in a row.
So see how that, okay, so this is how I envision, this is how I tell my clients when I'm talking about taking a beat at work. I'll say, if you're able to just leave the building, go outside, you see the box is also like a building. I say walking around and deep breathing while you take a walk around. Maybe you only have time to do 1 lap around the building. You're just breathing in and exhaling. I promise you, just try this. It has helped so many clients tremendously that I've talked to or I've guided online that they have been, going through this mental struggle at work, and it will affect you tremendously, your performance at work. But if you try this, I guarantee you will find such big benefit. And I'm only talking about 1 lap around. You don't have to do several laps. You just get outside and do 1 lap around the building and make sure you're breathing the whole time. Breathing in, exhaling out, just focusing on your breathing. That's all you're doing. You're walking and you're focusing on your breathing. Breathing in for 5 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and then exhale for 5 seconds. And then again, breathing it in for 5 seconds, holding it for 5 seconds, and then exhaling for 5 seconds. You're just focusing on breathing. That's it. Don't focus on anything else. You're focusing on breathing. And in that time frame where you're focusing on breathing, you're bringing that cortisol level back down, getting it in check so it doesn't affect your physical. You're not working on any ulcers or any issues with your what is it called, acid reflux or cortisol levels going out of whack. You're just focusing on your breathing and calming your mind back down and getting into a better space where you can be more efficient, more effective, and in a better mood. You just got some fresh air. You got some movement in. Now you got blood flow going in through your circulation. You got oxygen being poured into all the different areas that your body brings blood. It's all in all a whole big win for you. Win for mental and win for physical. And who doesn't want that in their day, right? Especially if you have a high stress job. You just have to go through this. So, okay, let's do 4-7-8 breathing. I don't want to go through box breathings. We already just did that. I don't know what the 4-7-8 is. This is breathing 10 minutes. 10 minutes for deep relaxation, calm breathing exercises. Let's do the 5 minutes. Let's see what this 5
4-7-8 breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds.
Okay.
Hold your breath for
Let
7
me just talk about
seconds.
this one.
And then exhale.
Remember how I was talking about earlier? Make sure you find something that resonates with you, and everybody's different with the sounds they hear that resonate with them. Kind of like how you have your phone where you can put like how you want Siri to sound. Do you want her Australian? Do you want her British? Do you want her boy? Do you want a girl? All of the things you can adjust because it's how you hear it differently. This, for me, I would not be able to relax with this guy's voice. That is a personal choice. But this would not be my cup of tea. But, there's good thing. There are so many other choices out there that you could go through. Like, Let's just go. I like this guy's face right here. Okay. Are you able to see what I'm doing scrolling through? Yeah. Okay. So that voice would not do it for me. I would not be able to like relax. Let me see what this pocket breath coach. Let's see what because it's using the sounds to there. The sound goes off, and then you're holding your breath, and it's flat, and then you're doing it up. Breathe in, top. You're holding it until it reaches that sound again, and then you're exhaling on the sound. Rather than someone's voice. So this one is your team, right? So let's go back. So that's a 4-7-8. So it's a 4-second inhale, 7 seconds of holding it, and 8 seconds of releasing it. That's what the 4-7-8 is. So 4 seconds of taking a deep breath in, like that, and then 7 seconds holding it with just holding that breath, and then 8-second release. And if you have your phone open, or if you're able to count those seconds in your mind, but those are good because it's just focusing, you're learning to focus on the sounds, and you can just see where it is. They're telling you to hold your breath, and then listen for that sound before you release it. So really all you have to pay attention to is the 4-second inhale, counting that 4 seconds, and then let the rest of the sounds guide you. It'll ding when it's time to release that breath, and it'll ding when you're done releasing that breath before you breathe that 4 seconds back in. Can sound confusing, but once you get the gist of it, you've done it a few times, you're going to know how to do it at any moment in time, whether it's at work or it's in your car or it's around your children or your spouse. These techniques are going to help you tremendously to keep your cortisol in check so it doesn't affect your physical, right? Because that's what it's all about, is keeping your mental in check so it does not affect your physical. So let's talk about the cortisol. What does cortisol do to your body? There we go. That is going to be a really good. Okay. Let's go to, let me see. No, Cleveland Clinic, WebMD. What it does and how to regulate it. Let's see. Actually, let's just do this video right here. It's only 3 minutes. Share the screen. Skip that. Okay. Let's see what this guy has to say. Let me share a different screen with you guys. So this is about cortisol. Remember, cortisol is what it can be good and it can be bad in your body, depending on what level it's released. Share screen, cortisol. Let's see what this guy has to say. All right, back here. Perfect.
Responding to stresses to maintain homeostasis. Before we look at the specifics of how cortisol responds to stress to maintain homeostasis, let's first refresh our understanding of the fundamentals of a homeostatic system. The tendency to maintain a stable internal environment when exposed to a varied environment is called homeostasis. The homeostatic mechanism is made up of 3 fundamental parts: the receptor, the control center, and the effector. The receptor receives a stimulus, which then relays this information onto the control center to make sense of it. The control center will then send a signal to the effector to produce a response which usually opposes the original stimulus. Now we are ready for cortisol and stress. Almost all types of stress will result in an increased release of cortisol, whether the stress is physical or neurogenic. For today, the example will be trauma, specifically resulting in a laceration of tissue. This physical stressor, which is the stimuli, will be picked up by the receptor in different parts of the brain, such as the limbic system or the brainstem. He will relay a signal to the hypothalamus, which is the control center, specifically the paraventricular nucleus. This nucleus releases corticotropin releasing hormone, which then goes down to the anterior pituitary gland,
So he's
which
giving you a
releases
full
another
science
hormone
breakdown
known
here.
as adrenocorticotropin hormone, or ACTH, which then goes in the systemic blood to go to the effector, the adrenal cortex,
It's amazing
to
how
release
our bodies
cortisol.
are, right?
Once cortisol enters the bloodstream, it will do many things to mitigate the
Here we go.
original stressor.
This is what I
Let's
wanted.
go through a few of the most important effects. Cortisol will sensitize arterioles and myocardium to adrenaline, therefore increasing heart rate and blood pressure to deliver more blood centrally in the body. Cortisol will increase the amount of free amino acids in the blood by diverting away from muscle and rather into the liver. Here the liver will convert the amino acids into glucose and release to increase glucose levels. This is known as gluconeogenesis.
So it goes into the bloodstream, into the liver. The liver turns it to glucose, and then the glucose is stored. So the glucose is what you don't want to increase, and that's what happens when you have too much cortisol. It's gone into the liver through the bloodstream, and then it turns into the glucose.
Cortisol will increase free fatty acids by mobilizing fat from adipocytes, increasing the free fatty acids in the blood. Most go into the liver to
increasing the
again be
fatty
made back
acids
into
in the
glucose, increasing glucose levels. Cortisol will block the insulin effect, therefore stopping glucose being used in muscles and fat, rather preferentially being used in the brain to improve the cognitive capacities of the brain. Cortisol will break down bone to release calcium. Calcium is very important for muscle contraction, nerve conduction.
Okay, so let's see. Let me bring you over here, because that was a very scientific way to follow through. If you aren't able to watch and you guys are just listening to this on audio, let me share a different screen with you, and I'm going to read the more specific breakdown that's not all of the scientific breakdown. For those of you that want to see that video in full, I'm going to put it into my the podcast info vids on my channel. If you go to Cara TV, and you go to my podcast info vids under my playlist, it's the very first playlist. Go there and you can watch anything that I show you on here is going to be underneath that particular spot on my channel. You have to put the @ symbol, Cara TV. Go to my playlists, and it's the very first playlist. It's called Podcast Info Vids, and that has all the videos I've shown you on from all of my podcasts, all the way back to the very first one. So you can get all that information there if you wanted to see more of that, and that's more your cup of tea. But for those of you listening on audio, that's going to be a lot if you're not following the diagram, which I'm more visual, so maybe you were able to catch all of that. But let's just go to the production of cortisol can also trigger your body to release extra insulin. So that's what I was trying to get at with this, is releasing the insulin. And we all know that insulin resistance is the thing that is keeping the fat in the fat storage tank. We want our bodies to burn that fuel that's been stored up for fuel. That's supposed to be burned off, right? We want it to burn that stuff off for our fuel in our body. But if we keep adding to it, it's like a never-ending stash of fat that we're trying to store up for what? Especially if you're not being physical, you're not using it. That's why it's really good to get out there, take the walk around the building or walking up the stairs, or if you're at your house, just get outside, take a walk down the street and back, whatever, just breathing in, doing those breathing techniques that we talked about earlier is going to keep your mental in check, which is going to keep your physical in check. So the production of cortisol can also trigger your body to release extra insulin. And together, these two hormones, cortisol and insulin, can lead to your body storing extra fat, especially around the abdomen. So ladies, fellas, if you guys have extra storage fat around your abdomen, you might want to really keep this in mind with your breathing techniques to lower that cortisol and lower the stress when you're feeling it coming on. And sometimes, especially us ladies in perimenopause, we can have that come on like all of a sudden and not really have anything that triggered it. It just is the what's happening inside of our bodies from the lowered estrogen and testosterone levels that are happening. Your body's trying to adjust in real time, and sometimes it makes you irritable. Sometimes you just start getting hot for no reason. So it's all of your chemicals inside of your body that are just kind of out of whack and out of balance. So you need to do what you need to do to get those back in check. That's a lot of times going to your OBGYN and asking them to do a blood test on your hormone levels and tell them, hey, I might be going through perimenopause. Something's different. I'm getting more irritable. I'm more brain fog. I'm storing more belly fat than normal. This can all be due to A, you're not managing your stress well, B, as ladies, you're in perimenopause, C, as men, you're having what they call menopause, which your testosterone has now taken a dive. And now you're going through in these spaces where your body is trying to counteract what's going on inside of it. And you're not managing it on your own on the outside by getting hormone replacement therapy or learning your breathing techniques and just constantly trying to get yourself back in check. It is all possible. You can do it. Additionally, for many people, eating comforting food is a one way we respond to stress, and that is not what we want to do. Remember, we're trying to change our relationship with food and not make that our go-to when we're not feeling well. You want to make it, you want to take on something else, and that is exercise, walking, breathing, and getting back and checking yourself. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? Come on. That's a good line from that old school beat. Healthline.com, cortisone and weight gain. Is there a connection? So remember, healthline.com, WebMD, and the Mayo Clinic. Those are the places you want to go. Okay, those are the places you want to go to. There we go. Where am I? There we go. Cortisol affect weight gain. Cortisol can help your blood sugars reduce inflammation and regulate metabolism, but longer-term elevations can cause side effects, including weight gain. So that's what I was saying about the balance. Cortisol is a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing if you just stay in that heightened stress space, right? So it can help your blood sugars and reduce inflammation and regulate metabolism. However, it can also have an adverse effect and have you gain weight. Cortisol, hold on, I have to minimize myself a little bit here. I'm shrinking, I'm going down, I'm shrinking. Okay. Cortisol is one of the many hormones produced in your body which serve as chemical messengers. So that's what you have to think about cortisol. They're your little messengers in your brain. So they can either be good and deliver good messages in your metabolism and your blood sugars, or if they're too stressed out, they're going to deliver a bad message. So think of them as your gossip tank, right? Do you want them to gossip the good things? Do you want them to tell your metabolism and your blood sugars, hey, we're doing good today, keep up the good work? Or do you want to stress them out to where they're delivering bad signals and they're catering to that fat storage? So that's going to be on how you manage it and what steps you're taking to manage it on a daily basis. While commonly referred to as the stress hormone due to its role in your body's stress response, it has a number of other important functions. Some people wonder if cortisol levels have an influence on the body weight. This article details the potential effect of cortisol on weight gain, including some ways to reduce its levels in your body. So that's what we're going to go over right now. It's what this cortisol is doing and how can it work for you? How can you get it to work for you? Cortisol is an important steroid hormone that belongs to a class of hormones called glucagon. You guys see that word, right? My tongue is tied. It's produced in the adrenal glands found just above your kidneys. So your adrenal glands are such an important part of your body because it's what helps keep everything, all the stored yuck in your body, keep it moving through and out your body. So getting those all the toxins and all the waste that's in your body, it helps filter through the good stuff that stays in your body and get it delivered, processed, and getting the bad stuff out. right? We want those to work properly. It's produced in the adrenal glands just above your kidneys. In addition to aiding in your body's stress response, its other roles include, let me scroll up, increasing blood sugar, okay, reducing inflammation, suppressing the immune system. None of these that's not what we want. Aiding in nutrient metabolism. Cortisol is generally released in close relation with your body's circadian rhythm, with 50 to 60% of it being released with 30 to 40 minutes of waking. The levels then falling throughout the day. So 30 to 40 minutes within you waking up, that's when your cortisol gets activated. Okay, so what does that say? That says when you wake up in the morning, if you're already, this goes back to the book I'm doing called The Magic. Look it up right now on your phone or your device, whatever you're on. It's called The Magic Book, written by The Secret. The Magic Book. Okay, The Magic Book, written by The Secret. Telling you right now, it is a game changer for your life. It's literally, it's like it's going to be the best $15 or $17 that you have ever spent. But if you look it up right now, how I told you, somebody already did a blogcast and posted all the pages of it. And it will walk you through how to exactly change your life from the inside out, starting with the mental capacity. So it says right here, cortisol, and remember, this is healthline.com. Remember the three places, healthline.com, WebMD, or Mayo Clinic, MAYO Clinic. Those are the three tried and true places that take 100% factual studies from scientists and doctors of how the brain and the body work, okay? So from 30 to 40 minutes from when you wake up, that is when your cortisol is activated. So how is it? Are you going to remember cortisol is your messengers? They're your messengers to many parts of your body. And is it going to deliver a good message, or is it going to start off? Are you going to crack off your day with bad messages? So when you wake up, are you going to be thinking of all the things? Remember the lackers, the people that say my life lacks this and I have to do that. It's the daunting lifers, right? When you wake up, are you thinking about, oh, I got to do this, I got to go to work, and then I'm going to run into this person and I have to deal with that, and like already setting the tone for how that cortisol. So now what happens when you think about all that stuff, right? Your heart rate goes up, the cortisol level goes up, and then what? You're stressing out your messengers, your gossip crew inside. Now, instead of delivering the good message, what they could be delivering positive messages for your inflammation and positive message for your metabolism. Now you're stressing it the heck out, and now you're going to start storing fat. So now you're just immediately starting with your day, you're waking up and you're going to start storing fat. Is that where you want to go? Is that the life you're trying to lead? That's all I'm asking you. When you wake up, what if you do this? You wake up by starting to stretch your body because you've just been in that laying down horizontal position for, hopefully 8 to 9 hours. You wake up and you're breathing and you're stretching and you're just getting in a good headspace and you're thinking, okay, wow, thank you, whomever. I'm a Christian. Thank you, God, for giving me another great day. Thank you for these feet and these legs that I have, that I'm able to get out of bed and just walk around. Thank you for my vision. Even if you don't have your feet and you're not able to walk and you are wheelchair bound, what do you have that you can be thankful for when you first get up? Do you have your fingers, all your fingers, your arms? Do you have your vision? Do you have your hearing? All of these things you can be grateful for. Did you wake up in a bed or on the floor? Did you wake up with a roof over your head? Did you wake up in a safe space? Think about all the positive things that you have as soon as you wake up. Think about the opportunities that you have now that you have these great things. What are the opportunities that you have in your day that you can make it a great day? Do you have a job? Can you be grateful that you at least have a job where you can make money to pay your bills? Like whatever greatness that you have to focus on those things and keeping that cortisol working for you, because then it's going to help you all throughout your day to having your best go at the day and optimal performance for your body, right? So 30 to 40 minutes, that's when it's activated. That's when it's in full effect for you. And now it's going to be working however you have, whatever your mental capacity, however you're going to guide it, that's how it's going to start working for you. So I have to like reduce myself again. Hold on one second. Let me lower that down. Sorry, you guys. Just able to read it for you. Okay. Its production and release is regulated by our pituitary gland and the hypothalamus located in your brain. Sorry, my tongue does not want to work today. During times of increased stress, cortisol and adrenaline are released from your adrenal glands. This triggers an increase in heart rate and energy levels, preparing your body for a potentially harmful situation. So that's what these are for. So when you stay in that heightened adrenaline and cortisol, your body is almost like a fight or flight, right? Your body is ready for an attack. It thinks we have to prepare this person. We have to prepare this body for an attack that's coming your way, because that's all it thinks about. Is, you know how there's like fighters and people can take so many hits and keep going. Well, sometimes they can, sometimes they get knocked out, but it's like your body is in that fight or flight mode, like survival mode. It's got to do what it's got to do. It's got to release all of these things so you can survive. Like the adrenaline helps you to not think about the pain that your body's in. The cortisol is there to protect your body by releasing more adrenaline. So it's all working together to protect you from this traumatic thing that's about to happen to you, right? But guess what? If you're just putting yourself in that stressed out state on your own when nothing big is really about to happen to you, you're doing that damage to your body and creating this damage to your body when you don't need to, right? You're not about to go into battle or war or any of that stuff. So this trigger can increase the heart rate. So while this response is normal, continued elevation in cortisol can lead to negative side effects. So what are those side effects that's happening inside of your body? Summary: cortisol is a necessary hormone with important functions in your body, which can include increased blood sugar, reduced inflammation, and suppressing the immune system and aiding in nutrient metabolism. But you can't get it to that space if you keep it in that stressed out, elevated level. You don't want it in that elevated level. You don't want to keep it there because it's not going to be good for you. Do cortisol levels affect weight gain? Among the numerous factors including influencing your body's weight gain, hormone regulation is an important one. Okay, hormone regulation. While hormones such as cortisol are usually kept within a tight range by your body's endocrine system, there are certain situations in which they can become low or elevated. So your cortisol levels, you have full control over when you reduce your stress, and that's by those breathing techniques that we talked about. You want to know about these things so you can learn how to adapt and how to control in your particular situation and your particular personality. You want to learn how you can do those things, kind of like people that have anxiety attacks. It's all about the breathing technique, right? Your breathing technique to bring your heart rate back down and bring you back to focus. You're just focusing on breathing. That's it. That's all they want you to do. Doctors and psychologists that talk to you about your anxiety, they want you to go through these breathing techniques because it's focusing on something other than your anxiety and whatever's freaking you out in the moment and like your heart rate and all the stress. You focus on just breathing, just putting your hand over your heart or over your belly and just focusing on breathing. That's it. Bringing that air in, holding it to just calm the noise, and then exhaling it just nice and slow and breathing. And that's it. That's it. That's all you're focused on. So high levels may promote overeating. Small rises in cortisol levels in response to stress are normal and not likely to cause negative side effects. However, yet in certain instances, cortisol levels may remain chronically elevated. So this is usually due to stress or a condition like Cushing syndrome, which causes blood levels of cortisol to remain high. What happens also when you stress is your blood pressure goes up. And when your blood pressure goes up, now you're affecting so many other parts of your body. It's really the takeaway from today's episode is learning about those breathing techniques, right? And learning about how to keep your body and your mind in check. And to keep your body in check, you got to keep your mind in check. It's that mental balance. I'm telling you, I highly recommend you guys going to the book I told you about, The Magic. It really does help you learn to re-navigate and refocus your relationship with your day. So just like I'm always talking about your relationship with food, learning to reset the values of how you perceive food. Food is not going to help you to get your mental in check. You don't want to rely on food for your happiness. You want to rely on food for fuel. That's what food is for. It's fuel and nutrients for your body. It's fuel, not food to help you with your mental breakdowns and your mental stability. You cannot rely on it for that. You have to change your relationship. The same way you change your relationship with stress, you have to change your relationship with how you approach your day. Like not spending all the time talking about negative things, whether it's your work, your relationship, or politics, or whatever's going on in the world. Talking about positive things is going to reroute your mind and reroute the way that you look at your day, and thinking about all the things that are good and going well and positive in your life. It will change the way that you view things. It'll change the way you view your life. It'll change the way you approach your day. It'll change your whole perspective and your whole persona that leads and guides your day. And it will keep you less stressed. And that's where you want to be, because that stress is causing those heightened levels of cortisol, which cause the extra storage in fat. So your stress and your mental capability is 100% going to affect the way that your body is. And sometimes when you keep your body, and I'm going to go over that right here, but when you keep your body elevated in that stress situation, that's when it causes havoc inside, and it can literally cause cancer. You can literally give yourself cancer from too much stress. That is a tried and true fact. Studies backed by science, backed by doctors. It's just what it is. And this is how you can do breathing techniques like we talked about earlier, just learning to keep it in control and resetting that establishment between your brain, your body, your mind, and how you can navigate through it. Not just breathing techniques, but approaching each day, like what I said earlier. When you wake up, within 30 to 40 minutes, your cortisol is activated. So cortisol are your messengers. Are you going to tell those messengers, hey, I got good news today? We're going to focus on the positive things. We're going to focus on, we're not going to get aggravated at the people at work that surround us. We're not going to engage in those conversations that normally bring us down a bad rabbit hole. Maybe it's about politics. Maybe it's about the world we're living in, whatever. You're going to engage in the positive things. You're going to focus on those positive things. You're going to focus on, hey, you know what? I want to perform better today, and this is how I'm going to do it. This is my game plan for today, and stick to it and tackle it and be proud of yourself at the end of the day. And that cortisol level will stay in check, and it will be doing all the positive things. And then your mind is going to stay in check out of that stressed out space. And that's where you want to be, right? You want to be more calm, cool, collected, and have a better outlook on life. So this is actually due to stress, like Cushing syndrome causes blood level, blah, blah, blah. I already read that. When cortisol levels remained elevated, the following side effects may occur. Weight gain, high blood pressure, fatigue, right? Because you're exhausted from all of the negativity and all of the drama and all the things. Of course, it's going to change your fatigue. You're going to be worn out. You ever leave a conversation, they call them like energy suckers, right? You might have been in the best mood. Think about this, right? Sorry, I need to have a little lip oil. My daughter's new thing on her page. You see these little Candy Crush lip oils. This is actually I'm going to put it on because I'm like dehydrated right now. I can tell. Oh, it's so good, you guys. Go to Caroline Lilly, CaralineLilly on Facebook or Instagram. These are up there right now. All organic. Just a little side note right there. So good, especially for these dry seasons or you got dried out lips. Sorry. So think about the elevated space, right? If you're going into your day, you've engaged, you're approaching it in a positive way, right? I'm having the best day. Nothing's going to affect my day. And then you go into a conversation with a bunch of people that are griping about something, and there's just like on and on and on with one negative thing after the next negative thing after the next. And it may be all true, maybe all stuff going on. But just by you engaging in that, it has drained your mental capacity. It has sent your heart rate up. Now your cortisol is up because your heart rate up, your blood pressure is up. And now you're going to start, just think of it in these conversations, right? If you feel your heart rate going up, you feel yourself getting agitated, you need to walk away and take a break from that scenario. Because what you should think about is, you guys are making me fat. Like, put it into terms like that. You guys are making me fat. You're putting weight on me right now. I'm getting fat because I'm getting stressed out, and you're putting me in a space where I didn't need to be. I was totally fine before, and now you're feeling exhausted. Now you got to go back to the tasks that you're supposed to be performing at work, right? And you can't perform them properly because you're exhausted. So what do you want to do? You want to have a little Debbie treat, little snack. You want to have a cookie. You want to have some whatever, chips, whatever. No, that is the wrong relationship. What you got to do now is get your butt away from those people, take it outside, breathe in that fresh air, and do some proper breathing while you walk around the building. Proper breathing in and out, just like taking in some fresh air, going around, and then coming back into your space with a different mindset. That's the only way to break that. Or taking a breath, going up the stairs or down the stairs or whatever it is, walking to the bathroom while you're just focusing on breathing. Don't engage in any more conversations, just focusing on you. It's self-care. You have to do that. Remember, put your mask on yourself before you put it on someone else in a plane that's going down. You have to take care of you first, and then you can engage elsewhere. But for you to be able to keep your cortisol in check and keep your mentality in check, you have to go through your day focusing on the positive things and not engaging in those negative things. And literally, this is what you should start saying to yourself. Those people stress me out. When those people are getting around me, they start talking about negative things. It's draining me of all my energy. I can't keep up. I'm tired. I'm exhausted afterwards, and you're making me fat. Just remember, those stressful situations and conversations are making you fat because it's elevating your cortisol. It's elevating your heart rate. You're getting high blood pressure, elevating your cortisol, and therefore gaining fat around, especially around your abdomen, your belly area. Look here. You start getting a tire around your belly, you're just like, okay, I'm getting this inner tube around here because I'm way too stressed. It's too much stress. Your body can't handle it. You gotta give it a break. And the way to do that is engaging in those, what I just told you, walking out, getting that. There's nothing better for stress than fresh air. Even if it's raining out, even if it's snowing out, you go out, bundle up, whatever you have to do, breathe in. If you only need 60 seconds of it. 2 minutes if you can, just breathing. That you can do that 4-7-8 technique where you're 4 seconds breathing in, deep breaths in, holding it for that 7 seconds, and then releasing it on the 8. And what's beautiful about the 4-7-8 is, interesting enough, in the Bible, and when you're talking about God's numbers, 4 is your angel, your guardian angel protection. 7 is God's greatest number, right? He built this all in 7 days, resting on the 7th day. And 8 is new beginnings. That is a number for new beginnings. So 4-7-8 is also biblical, and it's also beautiful in connection of the world and the earth that you're in is breathing in that 4 seconds of all the elements around you and holding it that 7 seconds and being grateful for the breath that you're about to be able to breathe. Because a lot of people aren't able, they don't have strong lungs, or maybe they've passed away, and you get to have that breath. There's so many elements. You could take it as shallow or as deep as you can go with it. But 4-7-8, just walking around, getting those deep breaths in, holding that breath, and then releasing it for that 8 seconds is going to be the way to get your cortisol back in check. It's going to keep that positive energy coming through and getting that negative out of your body, resetting, so you can enter back into the space you were in and finish your job efficiently and effectively without taking on all of that stress from those people that have now just been on and trying to vampire drain you of your good energy. Don't let it happen. So cortisol can give you a flushed face, thin skin, difficulty concentrating, insulin resistance. They should have put that one at the very top. So the thing that keeps you from losing your stored fat is insulin resistance, meaning your body has been holding on to this stored fat, and stored fat is not where you want that fat to be. That's your storage tank. That's your reserve tank of fat. First, you burn the fat that you bring on for the day, and then you go into that stored fat. So if you never burn that fat that you brought on for the day, that storage tank just stays full. And then when you keep putting yourself in these stressful situations and raising that cortisol level, you're filling that tank even more. So your reserved tank is just going to stay full, right? That reserve tank is going to stay full to the brim. That's not where you want that tank to be. You don't want that tank to be, you don't want that insulin resistance. You want it to be, your insulin to be able to come down. You want to keep that insulin in check, and you want to be able to burn that fat that you have on your body. You want to be able to burn that fat immediately and not put it into that reserve tank. Don't want it in that reserve tank. Trust, it's going to be there for way too long, and it's hard to get that fat out of that tank. So let me move along. Whoops. Low levels may cause weight loss. So, okay. Low levels may cause weight loss. And why is this? Because you have low levels of cortisol. So that means it's just enough cortisol that your body should be releasing in a healthy status to affect your metabolism, to keep your metabolism running good for you. You want to keep your stress levels down for that to happen. So just as high cortisol levels may cause weight gain, low levels may cause weight loss in some instances. The most extreme example is in Addison's disease, a condition in which your body doesn't produce enough cortisol. So this is a whole different direction. This doesn't have anything to do with the part of your weight gain, but we'll read it anyway, just in case this is going to affect any of you guys. So the most notable symptoms of low cortisol include decreased appetite or weight loss, fatigue, low blood sugar, salt cravings. Like a lot of people that have been doing the shots, like we had this, I think it was in episode 35 and 36 of Behind the Layers. The shots, people are taking Ozempic and what was the other one? I can't remember the names. Wegovy. There was a third one, but once taking those shots does this to your body. These are some of the things that it will give you low cortisol levels with those shots. So decrease in appetite and weight loss. You get fatigue. A lot of people are getting anemic and having these salt cravings and dizziness and nausea and vomiting and muscle and bone pain. These are some of the side effects and some of the things that happen, and it's because it reduces the cortisol from those weight loss shots. So while high cortisol levels may seem more common, it's important to be aware of the side effects of low cortisol as well. So chronically elevated cortisol levels may promote overeating and weight gain, whereas low cortisol levels may lead to weight loss in some instances. Still more research is needed on the low cortisol levels. So how to prevent and combat weight gain due to cortisol levels, which we talked about a lot, just the breathing techniques and then walking, taking a walk outside, or if you're at home and you just got done with a long day's work and you just really need to move your body. If you don't have one of those walking pads, which I highly recommend, because you can just get on that and either watch a show that you're into, and just before you know it, you've reached 30 to 45 minutes of being walking, which is going to be so great for everything, your circulation, your like literally everything in your body. You guys know I've done so many talks about that. So how to prevent and combat weight gain due to cortisol levels. While there are many stressors in your life potentially contributing to elevated cortisol, there are several effective methods for managing your levels and preventing or combating weight gain due to this. Staying active, you guys know. One of the many ways to combat weight gain is to engage in regular physical activity. Regular exercise has been associated with a reduction in stress levels and allows you to be more resilient when it comes to stressors are presenting themselves. So one study in 3,425 participants who reported emotional eating found an association between their levels of physical activity and their BMI, which is your body mass index. So it's like how much fat you have on your body opposed to muscle. You want to keep your range in like the 30 and below. You don't want to go much over your 30 and your BMI, maybe 35, depending on your height. What's more, exercising stimulates the release of endorphins. Of course, if you're like in a high stressed scenario and you go have a good 20-minute, 30-minute workout, just like a power, like sweat workout. We got to get to the sweat part. When you're getting to that space, you release so many good endorphins that makes you feel good and able to tackle on and take on more and reset. That's why I think it's such a great idea for people to work out either during work like on their lunch break or right after work before you go home to a family, because then you can reset your mind, reset your status so you can be available, emotionally available for them and physically available, because now you're going to be having more energy and you're going to be happier. So it's a good space to be in when you're approaching your family and getting into not bringing all of your work and all your stress along with you and bringing it into your household, to your children and your spouse. So what's more, exercise is good endorphins, feel good chemicals that promote happiness and can help manage stress. Yes. Okay. So regular physical activity can also promote weight loss or weight management due to calories burned while exercise. So to keep your calories in check. The bare bones of this is keeping your cortisol in check by learning to get more in a peaceful state is going to help you keep that tire off of your body, keep that extra fat from being stored around your body. And when you are engaging in people that are getting your blood pressure up and getting you there, just remember thinking, you guys are making me fat. I can't involve myself in this right now. So just walking away, resetting your mind by that breathing technique, getting outside, getting some fresh air in is going to help you. So all free things to do, right? Free. FREE, free things. Another powerful tool for managing weight gain due to stress is practicing mindful or intuitive eating. So mindfulness comes from a Buddhist concept meaning to be fully present and aware of what you're doing at any given moment. So that's just saying, okay, I'm paying attention to your heart rate going up, you're getting stressed, learning to be mindful and aware of it, and then doing something about it. Like, okay, now I'm going to go for a walk. Or if you need some nutrients, maybe having an apple or some celery or something like that. Don't go towards that starchy, fatty, refined sugared process. That is going to give you a release of dopamine for the moment, but at the end, it's causing more havoc, right? Because now you're gaining weight and now you got a sugar high, so now you're going to crash. The higher up you go, the quicker you'll come down. So mindful eating applies this concept of food, encouraging you to be fully aware of your eating experience, including specific cues such as hunger, fullness, taste, and texture. So mindful eating meaning like you want to know what you're putting in your body and how is it going to be good for you? Paying attention. Is it going to be good for you? How are you going to feel once it puts that fat or once it puts that weight gain on? Once it spikes your insulin levels or spikes your blood sugar, and then you're going to come back down on a crash and feel tired and exhausted and want to nap. And now you can't perform your duties anymore, whether it's at work or for your kids. You can't be present for them because you're just exhausted and feeling lethargic. Thinking about being mindful with it. Do you need to put that in your mouth, or can you go for a quick walk? Can you walk outside and breathe some fresh air in and reset your mind and your body? Or do you need to destruct it and putting those bad things into your body? It's changing your relationships, right? All the way around. Speak to a therapist or a dietitian right here. Another potential way to deal with weight gain could be related to high cortisol levels is to speak with a qualified practitioner such as a psychologist or a registered dietitian. Right here, I'm your girl. A therapist can assist you in coming up with some strategies to reduce overall stress. Like I told you, the breathing techniques. I mean, you can do those and you can look those up like I showed you on YouTube for free. So, on the other hand, a dietitian can provide nutrition education to equip you with the tools you need to make more healthful decisions surrounding food. That's what this channel does. That's what Behind the Layer does. That's what my channel at Cara Chris TV. I'm constantly giving you ways and ideas and the knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? Of how you can live your best life from the inside out. It really is something that you can do starting today. You don't need any extra equipment or anything. You can start by making those right choices. The things that I offer and talk to you about on here are going to either save you money, they're free, they're going to save you money, or reduce the amount that you're spending to be living that healthier lifestyle. So this is going to be a full around, all embodied way that you can get your life on track and get better at living life and feeling better at living life from the inside out, one tiny little feat at a time. So the dual prong approach to improving your food habits and emotional well-being is an excellent step in preventing and combating weight gain. So you guys, right here, telling you, right, I'm reeling it back in right here. Let me maximize myself. Bringing it back to, sorry, this keeps like catching on this. Bringing it back around to full status here. Okay. Bottom line is, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on my channel, because I'm going to be here to help guide you. You don't have to be looking here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to be here to guide you weekly, daily. I do post, but weekly I'll be here in real time to help guide you into living your best life from the inside out without breaking the bank. I'm not pushing on any drugs or shots or any kind of thing that is going to be a band-aid. We're talking about getting to the root of the problem. And maybe you're going to look at your life a little bit differently and assess the situations in your life. Like, is this person, are these people, is this situation benefiting me in the long run? Is this elevating me to the next level? Or am I being pulled down and pulled back in so many directions? How can you be present and elevate your life in a way that is going to be positive and beneficial for you, so you can be positive and beneficial for those in your life, or attract more positive and beneficial people and situations and circumstances? And the only way to do that is to be present and aware of what the problem and the issues are. You got to be self-aware, and how are you bringing those on yourself? How are you allowing this to happen yourself? What is your involvement? What's your place in it? And really being honest with yourself. You have to have that honest sit down with yourself, because otherwise, if you're a finger pointer, right, you're just pointing, pointing, pointing. You're never going to grow as a person. You're not going to be looking inward and saying, hey, maybe because all these things are failing around my life because I am the culprit. Maybe I'm the one who's bringing it on, or maybe I'm the one who's choosing that to be that way, or maybe I'm the one who's choosing how to handle it that way. In all regard, how can you fix it yourself and be your best guiding light? And the only way to do that is to self-reflect and see your involvement in it, and how you can make those changes yourself. So it all comes back down to the way that you handle and the way you approach, from the moment that your eyes open, the way that you approach your day, the things you see as positive or negative, the things you decide to focus on. Are you a lacker? Are you a person that looks at the lack of your life? I lack this, I lack that. Those are the lackers, the things that are focusing on the negative. Or are you going to start wanting to see the glass half full and focusing on those things? Like, you need more money. Okay, well, don't focus on the lack of money. Focus on the things that you can do to get more money. What kind of things are you good at? What are your talents? What's a side hustle you can have? Everybody has a side hustle now and again, or this day and age. That's what started trending on my TikTok, is the hashtag mom's side hustle. So I'm always so grateful for people that come here, they gain some knowledge, they gain some aspect on life, and they're gaining something that's helping them live their best life on the inside out. And they like the content, they like the channel, and they're offering, donations and things to this channel as my side hustle of trying to get the word out there, knowing that I'm going to bring you guys the best knowledge that I possibly can. And I'm grateful for that. And you guys also have that too. Everybody has a talent or something that they're good at that you can focus on. And hey, guess what? That's going to get your mind thinking in a positive way. That's going to get your talent pool back up, where you're focusing on something maybe you've lost along the way. And now you're not focusing on food as much, because now you have something positive else to focus on that's filling that void that you used to use food for. Same reason for people with drugs and alcohol. You gotta find something else to focus on that doesn't focus on the things that are tearing you down, but focusing and giving light and energy to the things that are going to lift you up and elevate you in your life, right? So that's what we're on about here. That's what this is all about. This is Behind the Layers, is helping you peel back those layers of the things that maybe you didn't want to focus on before, but now we need to get to the root of the problem and find out what is causing those problems in your life, and focusing on how to reevaluate, reassess, and put more love and light into the areas to bring you up and lift you up in life. And that's what it boils down to. You want to live your best life from the inside out. And I'm here to help you do that. So that's it for today, you guys. I am so grateful for you guys to be here along on this journey with me and to be a part of Behind the Layers. This is a dream of mine, and I'm really grateful each and every day for each and every person that stops through, even if you're here for only a few seconds. I'm so grateful that you gave me those few seconds in your time to really try and chime in and see what this is all about. And I really do hope that I touch your lives in some type of way that makes you want to live your life in a better light. So until I see you again tomorrow, you guys, on Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Bo and Hal, and all of you guys that joined me over there on TikTok and X and Instagram and YouTube and my Facebook fans. I really do appreciate you guys being here so much, more than you know, more than words can express. And I'm sending you guys lots of love and light right now. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.